Alright, so you may have run into a few Revlon one-step volumizer and hair dryer videos on YouTube and wondered, will they work for my hair? I have long, straight, fairly normal hair, and will I have to use a flat iron after it? So if you want to find out, keep watching. Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Before we jump into the Revlon one-step hair dryer and volumizer, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the like button on this video. So if you've watched any of the Dyson hair tool videos, you may have come across this video on the Revlon one-step hair dryer, which is how I found out about it. I had no idea it even existed. I was really just enthralled by the Dyson videos, even though I had absolutely no intention of buying one. I thought it was really cool and I was just kind of interested to see how it worked. So when I was watching those, I got a suggested video, I think by Mila Boo, sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm like the worst at pronouncing names on YouTube. I'm assuming it's Mila Boo, like Malibu. But I think I'm pretty sure I came across her first. And she has very short, kind of similar hair as me, but very short. And I thought, oh, it might work for me, but you know how it is when you have a long bob. I've had that before. This kind of stuff is really great for giving you volume. So I wanted to see if it would work for me. So I just started researching more videos, and I kind of found out, like as I was watching more and more were suggested to me, that most of the videos were centered around thick hair or curly hair or short hair, and just seeing if for the curly people's hair, if it would smooth it out and give them a lot of volume. For the short hair, like I said, I think that it's really meant to give a lot of volume. Obviously it's in the name, so volume is kind of what this product is centered around, and also drying the hair. So as I was watching these videos, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, this is really interesting and great for them, but is it going to work for someone like me, someone that has just a little bit of wave to their hair? Am I gonna need a flat iron after the fact, or can I kind of get away with using this, having it look like a blowout and being done with it? Like, that was really my intention of buying this and trying to figure out, will it work for me? Alright, when I decided to do this test, I kind of wanted to show you what my hair looked like when I air dried it, because I think that's really important to see what does it look like if you just did nothing at all, to see if you have similar hair as me. So I will insert a photo of what my hair looked like completely dry after a few hours, just air dried. Nothing was added to my hair. So for all three, I tested out, like I said, air dried hair. I did just a normal blow dry with a flat iron, and then also the Revlon, and then I'll show you what it was before the flat iron and then after as well. I did not use any extra product in my hair. I didn't use like a leave-in conditioner or Moroccan oil after the fact. I wanted to keep this the same for every single test. So I just use my Wella shampoo and conditioner for each one, and that is it. Now this product, I don't think claims that you don't need to use a flat iron, but for me that's really important. You can see in the photos, I don't have curly hair, I get a wave to it, so I use it just to get rid of that wave. Now if I blow dry it, that's not really an issue, I don't really have the wave problem, but I do like to smooth my hair. It does tend to get a little bit frizzy, especially in humidity, so I use a flat iron mainly just to make sure that the cuticle is sealed and that my hair is pretty sleek and straight. I'm not a huge volume person, like I don't really care if I have big hair, but it would be kind of nice if I could get that effect without it being over the top, and I thought this would be the perfect product to try that with. Alright, so I'm just going to run through the pros and cons that I found with this product, and as I'm talking through them, I'll show you the video of me using, I didn't film myself blow drying my hair and flat ironing it, but I just filmed myself using the Revlon tool. That way you could see how I used it, how long my hair is when it's wet, and just kind of give you the rundown that way. So for the pros, it really did give a decent amount of volume, but I wouldn't say that it lasted all day. So I think initially I get that volume, and then kind of obviously as time goes on, my hair is so heavy because of how long it is, it weighed it down and it didn't keep the volume. But I would say that that is a pro. I don't know that unless you really put product in your hair, I don't know how much volume we're really going to keep anyway. The second pro would be, I really liked how it gave that curl at the bottom, that blowout look where you have a nice little curl at the bottom from the way that the product is designed, kind of similar to if you used a round brush. So I did like that. I'm very, very shocked at this next one. I really thought that this was going to tangle my hair. My hair is super long and I thought that it would get stuck inside the bristles of this product, and I'm pleased to report that it did not. So that was really exciting. Now, I didn't sit here and really turn it all the way up the top of my head. I did keep it toward the bottom and then turned it as I got closer to the ends. So I didn't want to put it closer. There's really no need for me to put it up closer and twist it all the way up my head. I didn't need to do that for any reason, so I didn't. All right, and then the last pro, this product is only $59.99. If you have a Target Red card, you get 5% off, but you can also buy it on Amazon, get free shipping. So it was also $59.99 on there when I just checked it a little bit ago. So I think the price of this is really good, especially if you're trying to compare it to the Dyson, which is what, like $400 or $500. I think it's absolutely insane. I don't know. I personally just don't have the money to spend on something like that. So $400 compared to $60, I would definitely go for the $60 option. Like I said, I can't buy the Dyson and I don't really plan to, so I can't compare it to that. But from the videos I've seen, people are really shocked at how well it does compare to that tool. All right, dun dun dun, on to the cons. So this for me was not a time saver. I know that for some people, I was watching their videos and they said, oh my gosh, usually it takes me an hour to blow dry my hair or whatever. That's not the case for me. It usually takes me about 12 minutes on average to dry my hair. This took me 20-25 minutes just to dry it, and for me that's not a time saver, especially because, which I'll get to the point in a minute, I still had to use a flat iron with it. This is just, that's not something that I don't want to take even longer to dry my hair. So that is con number one, not a time saver. Con number two, this is a big one for me. You can't get to the root to dry your hair. If you put this at the root of your head, you're gonna burn your hair. So the way that this works is that the air comes out of all different sides of this product, which is really cool when you're in the middle of your hair because it's able to push the air through. But you can't put this at the root of your head and just sit there and hold it. It's gonna burn your hair, or your scalp rather. So for me, that's a big deal because I do have that little bit of wave in my hair. So if it air dries, especially at the root, it kind of gets a little kinky, and I don't like that. So I felt like this was just sitting there and gonna create that mess that I don't like. So even though the rest of my hair was dry, I still felt a little dampness at the root. So that was a no-go for me. So I felt like if I had to keep using this, I would have to almost blast my hair with the hair dryer first just to get the roots dry, and then go ahead with the rest of my hair with this just to finish it out. And that's again adding even more time. I don't want to sit there and use two tools when this is supposed to replace my hair dryer. All right, con number three. I was really hoping not to be able to use a flat iron like I mentioned before, but at first this looks really great. It makes it really smooth. This does have two types of bristles. It has the nylon bristles and then the boar bristles. So it does smooth your hair as you're using it, but it doesn't last throughout the day. Now, again, I didn't use product. I don't know how it would have worked if I had used product. I really am highly doubtful that it would have made that big of a difference. I still needed to use a flat iron at the end of the day because when I did use this, I wish I would have taken a picture the day that I used this and didn't use anything else, because it looked as almost as if I had let it air dry and it got really frizzy from the humidity, and it didn't look good at all. It didn't even look like I styled my hair that day. So that's a huge con for me. I thought that I'd be able to get away with this, nothing else, and be done with it, and it saved me some time. So that was a no-go. All right, I promise there's only two more cons. I know that my cons are outweighing the pros on this, so you can kind of see where this is gonna go. But the fourth con is that this is fairly large. If you have small hands, I don't know that this would be great for you. And your arm kind of does get tired as you're using it for so long because you're sitting there holding it. and like holding it in one position, where like with my hair dryer I'm kind of all over the place. This, I felt like my arm got really tired, and if I had smaller hands this would be kind of difficult to use. So from that perspective, it wasn't really an issue for me, but I feel like that could be an issue for somebody else. All right, and then the last one, so there's 3 settings on here. There's a cool setting, which I did not use, and then there's a low and a high. I felt like the low was almost like a medium setting, and they could have done one like a notch down, and the high was way too high. So maybe I could have gotten my hair drier faster if I would have put it on high, but it got so hot even on low that I didn't even want to go to the high setting. So I felt like instead of just low and high, they could have done a low, medium, high, and the low one would have been like extra low, where you could have sat there with this at the bottom just to really make sure that that curl was fully developed when you're holding it. If you put it on the current low setting, the air is still coming out fairly quickly, so I felt like even when I was holding it there, it was just kind of blowing the hair all around, and I didn't feel like that was great. I don't know, I just felt like there could have been one down. So that's just kind of my little 2 cents on that. If I were to design this, I would have kept the cool setting, which I didn't even use. I'm sure maybe you could use it, but I would have had a low, medium, and high instead of just low and high. All right. Bottom line, I would not recommend this to someone who has the same hair as me. If you're used to blow drying your hair, you're probably an expert at it. It probably takes you a similar amount of time, maybe even less if your hair is shorter than mine. I'd rather stick with the 12 minutes, do my hair. I can run the flat iron through my hair fairly quickly. So for me, it's not a time saver. It didn't dry my root, so it really just cannot replace my good old hair dryer and flat iron. It doesn't save me time, and it doesn't save me tools either. This is just basically replacing my hair dryer, and I still have to use my flat iron. I do feel like this probably could be good for somebody with curly hair. From the videos I've watched, I've never had that experience. I've never had curly hair, so I can't speak on that, but from what I'm watching, it does seem fairly decent. This is not a sponsored video. I bought this with my own money from Target, so I hope that this video and explanation of this product helped you make an informed decision and helps you understand if it may or may not work for your type of hair. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.